Hello students, welcome to Sri Jayant Rank Zone. So basically we are going to discuss about some new topic. As we people know, we have already discussed about the alkenes. So in today class also we are going to discuss some more things about the alkenes. So first I am going to discuss a question with you of alkene. So first we are going to discuss a question of alkene with you. See, basically the question is given a compound of alkyne is given in this question, and the compound is CH3 C triple bond C and CH3. So this compound is given, and there is two paths, two possibilities for this reaction is given. So one possibility for this reaction is given this one possibility for this reaction is given like this. Catalyst is given Lindlar's catalyst. So in first step Lindlar's catalyst is given. So in first step Lindlar's catalyst is given, while in the second step the catalyst given is Burke reduction. In second step this is Burke reduction. Now see, basically we know Lindlar catalyst is hydrogen in presence of palladium and calcium carbonate acts as a poison. So there is reduction of alkene and hydrogen will come from same side. Hydrogen will come from same side in Lindlar catalyst. So the product obtained is CH3 C double bond C CH3 hydrogen and hydrogen. So this is basically cis product is obtained, as we have already discussed. While by work reduction trans product is obtained. So trans product means two hydrogen atoms will come from the opposite side of plane. So question is, this product obtained is A and this product obtained is B, as we know. And the question is A and B are. The first option is A and B are optical isomers. A and B are optical isomers. Second option is A and B are geometrical isomers. Third option, A and B are identical. A and B are identical. And fourth option is not isomers. As you people can see, when Lindlar catalyst is used, this is cis, and when Burke reduction, this is trans. So cis and trans basically related as geometrical isomers. So option B is correct. Now see the next question. The next question is, which of the following hydrocarbon, the question is which of the following hydrocarbon will give neutralization reaction. So the question is, which of the following hydrocarbon will give neutralization reaction with soda amide like NaNH2. As we know, this soda amide is basically base. So options are, the first option is C2H2 and the second option is C2H4 and the third option is C2H6 and the fourth option is C6H6. As we know, this is basically neutralization reaction, and neutralization reaction is basically acid base reaction. So base is there, so acid reacts with base. In neutralization reaction, what happens? In neutralization reaction, acid and base reacts. So NaNH2 is given as a base. Now see, this is C2H2 and C2H2 is basically terminal alkyne. So terminal alkyne, it means this acidic hydrogen is present. So now this acidic hydrogen will combine with base. This acidic hydrogen will combine with base. So the correct option is, because this will act as ethyne. This is ethyne. Due to acidic hydrogen, this will behave as an acid. This will behave as an acid, and this is base. Therefore, neutralization reaction will take place when sodamide reacts with ethyne. So option A is correct. Now it is clear to all of you, both of questions. Now see the next thing. Next, we are going to discuss about the chemical properties of alkenes. So the next topic we are going to discuss is chemical properties of alkenes. So we are going to discuss about chemical properties of alkenes. So we're going to discuss about the chemical properties of alkenes. See, what are the chemical properties of alkenes? So we are going to study about the first chemical property of alkene, that is oxidation reaction. So first we are going to discuss about the oxidation reaction. First we are going to discuss about the oxidation reaction in alkenes. So what are the oxidation reaction in alkenes? So first reaction which we will discuss in oxidation reaction is combustion reaction. The second reaction which we will study is ozonolysis. And the third reaction which we will study in oxidation is hydroxylation. We will study each and every reaction in detail with a numerous number of examples. And the fourth reaction of oxidation is basically catalytic oxidation. So these four reactions are basically, one is combustion reaction, one is ozonolysis, one is hydroxylation, and one is catalytic oxidation. So start with the first reaction. So first reaction we are going to study is combustion reaction. So this is the first chemical property, oxidation reaction, in which we are going to study about the combustion reaction. So what are the products obtained? Simple. For example, if there is combustion of ethene, C2H4, combustion always in presence of oxygen. How many carbon atoms are there? There are 2 carbon atoms. So number of CO2 gas will be same as the number of carbon atoms. Now see, how many hydrogen atoms are there? 4 hydrogen atoms. So 4 by 2 means 2. So there is 2 moles of water molecule. Divide 4 by 2 means 2 moles of water molecules. Now balance oxygen. 2 2 ja 4 and 2 6. It means 6 by 2. So 3 moles of oxygen. So this is balanced chemical equation. So this is combustion reaction, as we have discussed the combustion reaction of alkanes. Similar in the case of combustion reaction of alkenes. So this is basically ethene. Now see, the next combustion reaction which we are going to study is ozonolysis reaction. So the next reaction we are going to discuss is ozonolysis reaction. See, ozonolysis reaction. So basically ozonolysis is always in presence of, like there is ozonolysis of alkene. So take example of this carbon carbon double bond, like this. When we add ozone in presence of zinc and hydrolysis in presence of H2O. So the product obtained is, the bond will break in this way. From this pi bond, and oxygen will be added to this carbon atom. Also oxygen will be added to this carbon atom, and this valency is like this one. So this is basically cut the double bonds and add oxygen to both sides. Add oxygen to both sides. So this is the product obtained after ozonolysis. And always remember, whenever there is ozonolysis, in presence of zinc. So zinc is basically the metal. Zinc is basically the metal. So metal will lose electron. Metal will lose electron. Electron lose means self-oxidation. Electron lose means self-oxidation. And self-oxidation means reducing agent, better reducing agent. It is better reducing agent. So we can say if ozonolysis reaction in presence of zinc, then this catalyst we called, this is basically reductive ozonolysis. So this is basically what? This is basically reductive ozonolysis. So this we call reductive ozonolysis because zinc act as a reducing agent. So please remember, if ozonolysis takes place in presence of zinc, then this is reductive ozonolysis. Now see another question. If question is given like this, the compound is CH2 double bond and CH2. The compound is CH2 double bond CH2. In first step, there is addition of O3, zinc and water. So when you see zinc, it means it is reductive ozonolysis. It is reductive ozonolysis. Now break the bond. And add oxygen to the both sides. So this is CH2 double bond O plus double bond O CH2. When you write this structural formula on carbon, there is hydrogen, also C double bond O group, and this is also H. In the same way, this compound will also. So this is basically methanol. So methanol is obtained as a product. Now see the next question. The next question is basically, as you people can see, if compound is given like this, CH3, CH double bond CH2, in presence of O3, zinc and H2O. So the bond will break in such a way that, like this. So double bond will break and addition of oxygen on both sides. So this is double bond oxygen and CH2. So the product obtained is CH3, CHO, and another product is HCHO. So one is ethanol and one is methanol. So ozonolysis is a very easy reaction. You just have to see whether zinc is used or not. If zinc is used, means definitely it will be reductive ozonolysis. Now see the next question. The next question is, if compound is given like this, CH3C, CH3 double bond CH2. If compound is given in this way, so basically what happens, as you can see, when we use ozone, O3, zinc and water, so break this pi bond and addition of oxygen on both sides. So this is basically CH3C, CH3 double bond O plus oxygen will be added on this side also. So one of the product obtained is propanol. Plus you can write this compound as SC double bond OH. So this is basically methanol. Now see the next question. If the compound is given like this, CH3 CH double bond CH CH double bond CH2, and ozonolysis in presence of O3, Zn and H2O. Always remember, as many, so we can see in this case basically there are two pi bonds, and we are going to do reductive ozonolysis. Why it is reductive ozonolysis? Because zinc is present. So break all the pi bonds, break all the pi bonds. So as we can see, when we break this pi bond, so one of the compound obtained is CH3, CH double bond O, and another compound obtained is CH double bond O, CH double bond O plus another compound obtained is, so basically one of the compound obtained from this side and another compound is obtained from this side and another compound is obtained from this side. So the product obtained is double bond O and CH2. So these three products are basically obtained on ozonolysis of this compound. Now see the next question. The next question is, if the ozonolysis of a compound like this, so this is basically orthogylene. This compound we call orthogylene. Now see this compound. As orthogylene compound, we know very easily the structure of orthogylene can be this one, or the structure of orthogylene can be this one. So this pi bond can be at this position, this pi bond can be at this position, and this pi bond can be at this position. So another structure of orthogylene is like this one. So when we do reductive ozonolysis, so how we can do reductive ozonolysis? This is very easy. See, break all the pi bonds. So break all the pi bonds like this. Break this pi bond, also break this pi bond, and also break this pi bond, and remove the portion as it is. So first I am taking this portion. So when we see this portion, write as it is. So CH3 on this carbon as it is, and this is basically double bond containing oxygen. Now this carbon is linked with this carbon atom. I am taking this part, this red one part. So this is the carbon atom. Again, when this pi bond is break, so this is C double bond O, and to complete the valency of carbon, one hydrogen is added. So one of the product obtained is this one by this side. Now see the another product. Another product is this one part. As we can see, this part and this part both are same. Therefore 2 moles of this product is obtained. Now see another. The another part is basically this carbon atom and this carbon atom. So 2 carbon atoms are there. So write this as it is. 2 carbon atoms. When pi bond break means double bond oxygen. Also on this carbon double bond oxygen. This one. This carbon atom and this carbon atom. Now the valency will be satisfied by hydrogen. So 2 moles of this compound is obtained and 1 mole of this compound is obtained. Now see also, the ozonolysis of this compound is also possible. To break all the pi bonds, First take this portion. I am taking this portion. So this portion will be like this. 2 CH3 groups are on each carbon atom. Also when pi bond breaks in ozonolysis, this is double bond oxygen and this is also double bond oxygen. So one of the product obtained is this one. Now see another product. Another product is when pi bond breaks, there are 2 carbon atoms. One is this and one is this. So this half and this half. So basically these 2 products are same. So when we draw this product, so basically this is double bond O, carbon and hydrogen. Now this attached to carbon again. Now double bond oxygen and hydrogen. So these are the products obtained. How many different products are obtained? See, different products. So one product is this one. This is different. One product which is different is this one. Now see, this product and this product obtained is same. This product and this product is obtained same, while this product is also different. So how many different products are obtained? 1, 2, 3. So my question is, how many different products are obtained? So we will say how many different products are obtained. So we will say how many different products are obtained. So your answer will be 3. So always remember, because we will not consider only this case, because in benzene there is a resonance. This pi bond can be at this position, this pi bond can also be at this position, and this pi bond can also be at this position. Therefore take all the possibilities. So therefore we have formed this product. Now see the next question related to ozone lysis. The next question related to ozone lysis is again a very easy question. See, the question is, a alkene A on ozone lysis, means on reductive ozone lysis in presence of zinc and H2O. It gives one of the product is ethanol. And another product is propanone. Another product is propane 2-on. So A on ozone lysis gives two products B and C. B is ethanol and C is propane 2-on. Then write the IUPAC name. Write the IUPAC name of compound A. Write the IUPAC name of compound A. See, so basically this is about ozone lysis reaction. This is very easy. As we have seen, whenever there is a pi bond, then pi bond breaks and we add oxygen on both sides. Now see, do the reverse. First arrange the oxygen in horizontal direction. First I am arranging the oxygen atom in horizontal direction. So this is ethanol. So oxygen I have arranged in the horizontal direction. In the same way, arrange this compound also, so that its oxygen also be in horizontal direction. So propane 2-on is basically CH3. C double bond O CH3. So propane 2-on is like this: C double bond O and CH3 and CH3. This is propane 2-on. Now when double bond breaks, so it gives double bond oxygen on both sides. Now reverse, add these two oxygens, then pi bond will be formed. So now add these two oxygen atoms, add these two oxygen atoms, and pi bond will be formed, removal of oxygen. So the compound A will be CH3 CH double bond C CH3 and CH3. And what is the IUPAC name of this compound? We can easily say the IUPAC name of this compound is, write the IUPAC name of this compound, longest chain. Select the longest chain. So this is basically the longest chain. And when we do numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on second position there is methyl group. So this is 2 methyl. 4 carbon atoms, therefore but and 2 ene. So this compound IUPAC nomenclature is 2 methyl but 2 ene is compound A. So always remember reverse thing in case of ozone lysis. Like pi bond break and we add 2 oxygen atom after breaking of pi bond. In the same way, add oxygen and pi bond will be formed. So reverse can also be done. Now my question is, again next question, my question is, write the product obtained by ozone lysis of benzene. Write the product obtained on ozone lysis of benzene. So what we have to do, break all the pi bonds. Now write, as this portion is same, this portion is also same, and this portion is also same. So basically 3 moles of same product is formed. Now see, this is carbon atom. So when pi bond breaks, double bond oxygen will be formed. And this is carbon atom. Again, this carbon is attached with carbon through a single bond. So single bond. Now on this carbon atom, again there is double bond oxygen. Now complete the valency of carbon. 3 bonds are there, therefore 1 hydrogen. 3 bonds are there, therefore 1 hydrogen. And how many moles will be formed? 3. So 3 moles of this compound will be formed on reductive ozonolysis. So what will be the reagent in this case? We will say O3 plus zinc and plus water will be the reagent in this case. Now see the next question related to ozonolysis. My question is basically, if there is ozonolysis of alkyne, so ozonolysis of alkene we have seen. Now I am going to discuss ozonolysis of alkyne. I am going to discuss about the ozonolysis of alkyne. Like compound is given in this way. If the compound is given in this way, like CH3, C, triple bond C and CH3, and we are going to do ozonolysis of this compound. So what product will be formed? In this case, complete bond will not break. These 2 pi bonds will be break. These 2 pi bonds only break, and one single bond will remain as it is. So one single bond will remain as it is, and because ozonolysis, therefore add oxygen, double bond oxygen on both carbon atom. So double bond added on both carbon atom, but one of the sigma bond will remain in between the carbon atom in case of alkyne. Please note this point and highlight this point. So this is basically the ozonolysis reaction. Now I am going to discuss ozonolysis without zinc. So all these reactions are basically the ozonolysis in presence of zinc. Now when zinc is not present, in this case how ozonolysis will take place. So now I am going to discuss ozonolysis without zinc. Ozonolysis without zinc. So basically, if ozonolysis takes place without zinc, we call it oxidative ozonolysis. So the ozonolysis called oxidative ozonolysis. Oxidative ozonolysis. So for example, if a compound is given like this, CH3, CH, double bond and CH2, and ozonolysis only in presence of zinc. Ozonolysis only in presence of zinc and H2O2. So zinc is absent. In this case, zinc is absent. So in this case, zinc is absent. I am writing there. So when zinc is absent, so ozonolysis we called oxidative ozonolysis. So the product will be same in first step. First step will be same. How first step will be same? Break the pi bond. First step will same as that of reductive ozonolysis. Same step as in reductive ozonolysis, first step. So in first step, we obtain one of the product is CH3, C double bond O and H, and plus another product obtained is HC double bond O. Now see. So this is first step. This is first step obtained after oxidative ozonolysis. But reaction will not stop at this point. Reaction will not stop at this point if it is oxidative ozonolysis. If it is oxidative ozonolysis, reaction will not stop at this point. Now see what will happen. So one of the product is CH3C double bond OH, and one of the product is HC double bond OH. Now again oxidation will take place. So oxidation of this compound will take place. Also the oxidation of this compound will take place. How? If there is hydrogen. Now see the identification. How you will say it will again oxidize. So this is carbonyl group. Whenever there is a hydrogen attached with carbonyl group, Whenever there is hydrogen attached with carbonyl group, then this hydrogen will be oxidized in the form of OH group. So this hydrogen will be oxidized in the form of OH group. So this is the product obtained. Again, this is also carbonyl group, and on this carbonyl group there are two hydrogen atoms. So both of them hydrogen atom will be oxidized. So it form OH and OH. So the hydrogen attached with C double bond O will be oxidized. So only one hydrogen, so it is oxidized. Two hydrogen, both are oxidized. Now we know this is carbonic acid. H2CO3, and H2CO3 breaks in the form of H2O and CO2. So CO2 gas will be obtained. So always remember the process of oxidative ozone-lysis. Therefore, the product obtained is like this. Now I am giving you the questions. And always remember, note one point. In case of oxidative ozone-lysis, oxidative ozone-lysis means absence of zinc. So this is only O3 in presence of H2O2. In case of oxidative ozone-lysis, the first point is aldehyde is oxidized. Aldehyde is oxidized to acid. While ketone is not affected. If ketone is obtained as one of the product, then ketone is not affected. Now see the questions. Complete all the reactions I am giving to you. Now the first question is question number 1. The compound given is CH2 double bond CH2. There are two paths for this reaction. One path I am giving O3 in presence of zinc and H2O2 or H2O, both of them you can take. And second step, O3 and H2O2 only. What is the identification? Above reaction is basically reductive ozone-lysis, while the below reaction is oxidative ozone-lysis, because their zinc is present and their zinc is absent. Now see the products. The first step obtained is same. By reductive ozone-lysis, break the pi bond and add oxygen to both sides. So one of the product obtained is SCHO. Also their product obtained is HCHO. In oxidative ozone-lysis, this is basically oxidative ozone-lysis. In first step, the product obtained is same. In first step, the product obtained will be same in case of oxidative ozone-lysis. Now, again there is possible oxidation. Why again oxidation is possible? Because we can see this is carbonyl group. Here also carbonyl group. And on this carbonyl group there is hydrogen attached. Two hydrogen atoms are there. Also there are two hydrogen atoms are there. The product will be obtained same. So this oxidize into C double bond O. So this will oxidize into OH group. OH, C double bond O, OH. So this is also the same product, OH, C double bond O, OH. Now, as we know, this compound is carbonic acid. H2CO3. So CO2 gas will be evolved. So this is the product obtained. So we can easily differentiate the oxidative ozone-lysis and reductive ozone-lysis. Now see the next question. Next question I am giving to you. Please do it by yourself. The next question is, if there is ozone-lysis of CH3, CH double bond CH and CH3, The first path by which reaction going on is O3 in presence of zinc and H2O2. So the product obtained is different. If O3 is given and only H2O2 is given, so first step is basically reductive ozonolysis and second step is basically oxidative ozonolysis. This is oxidative ozonolysis. Now this is very simple. Break the pi bond. First break the pi bond. When pi bond breaks, the product obtained is CH3C double bond OH plus C double bond OH and CH3. This is the obtained product on reductive ozonolysis. As we know, in oxidative ozonolysis, the first step will be same. So the product obtained is CH3C double bond O and H, and also there HC double bond O and CH3. As we know, in oxidative ozonolysis, the hydrogen attached with CO group will be oxidized. So this hydrogen is oxidized and also this hydrogen will be oxidized. So further oxidation will possible. Now the product obtained is CH3 C double bond O and OH. So this is also the same product. So we can say 2 moles of this product is obtained. So you can easily differentiate. In reductive ozonolysis, reaction stops as aldehyde, while in oxidative, carboxylic acid is formed as a product. Now see the next question. So next question you people do by yourself. The question is basically you have to do the ozonolysis. You have to do the ozonolysis of a compound like this. The question is, do the ozonolysis of this compound. The compound given is this one, cyclobutene. So cyclobutene is given like this. This is cyclobutene and the ozonolysis in presence of O3 and H2O2 only. When there is O3 and H2O2 only, it means this is oxidative ozonolysis. So first break the bond. When we break the bond, pi bond, so bond will be breaking this way. So first step, this is CH2. This is also CH2, and this is C double bond O and H, and this is also C double bond O and H. As we know, this reaction will not stop at this point. Why? Because there is hydrogen atom attached with C double bond O. There is also hydrogen atom with C double bond O. Now these two hydrogen atoms will be oxidized. And the product obtained is C double bond O OH, and this is also C double bond O OH. This is called succinic acid. So this is basically which acid? Succinic acid. So now you people will be able to do each and every question of ozonolysis, whether it is oxidative ozonolysis or whether it is reductive ozonolysis. Now see the next we are going to discuss the next chemical property of alkene. So the next chemical property of alkene is basically we are going to discuss. Next chemical property of alkene is hydroxylation of alkene. So the next chemical property we are going to discuss is hydroxylation of alkene. What is hydroxylation of alkene? Hydroxy means introduction of OH group. So on alkene there will be addition of OH group, is called hydroxylation. Now see, what are the methods used for hydroxylation reaction and what is the requirement for the hydroxylation reaction? If alkene is given like this, C double bond C, in this way alkene is given. When the oxidation in presence of nascent oxygen, so we can see they are basically H2O2. It means two OH groups are there. It means two OH groups are there whenever there is water plus nascent oxygen. Now, pi bond will remove, and on carbon atom OH group will be added, and on carbon atom OH group will be added. As we can see, the two OH group in this case are added from the same side. The two OH group are added from the same side. If two OH group are added from the same side, then we call it syn addition reaction. We call it syn addition. Syn means both groups are from the same side of plane. Now see the next. Now we are going to discuss all the reactions related to hydroxylation. All the reactions related to hydroxylation. See one by one. So first reaction of hydroxylation I am going to discuss. First reaction of hydroxylation I am going to discuss with you of hydroxylation reaction. See, this is very easy. So first reaction. We can also count these reactions in test of unsaturation. We can also count these reactions in test of unsaturation. So we can count these reactions in the test of unsaturation. So the first reaction is when there is alkene C double bond C, and we add 1%, when we add 1% cold and dilute 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. This reagent also called Bayer's reagent. So this reagent also called Bayer's. This reagent we also called Bayer's reagent. So this is basically called Bayer's reagent. This is Bayer's reagent. Write this as Bayer's reagent. So this is Bayer's reagent whenever there is 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. Now, this is basically hydroxylation reaction. So form carbon-carbon bond. Now this is free valency. This is also free valency. So OH group will come from the same side. OH group will be added from the same side. Whenever OH group is added from the same side, it means it will follow syn addition. It follows syn addition. It will follow syn addition. For example, see. For example, if question is given like this. So this is basically the alkene, and we are adding 1%. We are adding 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. We are adding 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. So basically this reagent will provide two OH group, and these two OH group will come from the same side of plane. Now see, when these two OH group will come from the same side of plane, so both OH group can be on wedge position. Both OH group can be on wedge position like this. It means above the plane, outside the plane. So these two OH group can be like this. Also, these two OH group can be on the dash position because both OH group are coming from the same side of plane. So both can be on wedge bond and both can be on dash bond. So basically this is the product obtained. If the option is like this, one OH is on dash position and one OH is on solid position. So this is not correct because these two OH groups are not in the same plane. These two OH groups are not in same plane. So this will not obtain, either this one or this one will be the product. So Bayes reagent follow Syn addition. So this reaction is basically based on Syn addition. Syn means cis addition. Okay. See the next question related to this one. The next question related to this one. If it is given like this is cyclopropane and we are going to add 1% cold and dilute KMnO4. So this reagent basically provide 2 OH group. This reagent will provide how many OH group? 2 OH groups. So these 2 OH group will come from the same side of plane, either on the dash position, or on the wedge position, It means solid position. So these are the possibilities of product obtained, OH and OH. So always remember, because this reagent follow Syn addition. Reaction. Now see the another chemical property. So this is basically again based on the hydroxylation. This is also based on the hydroxylation reaction. So hydroxylation reaction we are going to discuss. If hydroxylation reaction is this one, like alkene is given, and with alkene the reagent given is osmium tetraoxide, and osmium tetraoxide in presence of sodium carbonate in first step, and in second step it is given hydrolysis step, means H2 and H plus. Again, this reagent osmium tetraoxide, this reagent also provides 2 OH groups. And these 2 OH groups will come from the same side of plane. So these 2 OH group will come from the same side of plane. So this also follows which addition? This reaction also follows Syn addition. So the product obtained is C. OH will come from this side, then this OH will also come from this side. So this is basically Syn addition, or we can say cis addition. So this is the obtained product. This is osmium tetroxide. This whole reagent will provide how many OH group? 2 OH groups. Now see the next. If again the reaction is given like this, again alkene is given. So the question is like this: if cyclohexene is given, and when in cyclohexene you add osmium tetraoxide in presence of Na2CO3 and hydrolysis, so basically this reagent will provide 2 OH group, and both OH group will come from the same side of plane, either from dash position or from wedge position, or from solid position, it means wedge position. So this can be obtained or this can be obtained. So this is also OH and this is also OH. So this also follows which addition? Syn addition. This also follows Syn addition reaction. Now see the another question. If reagent is like given this, now see the next reaction of hydroxylation. If hydroxylation takes place in presence of another catalyst, which is Ag2O. Which catalyst is present? Ag2O in first step, and in second step there is hydrolysis, so basically this reagent also Ag2O, and in second step there is hydrolysis. This reagent also provide two OH groups for addition. This reagent will also provide two OH group for addition. So addition of two OH group on carbon carbon double bond. Now this reaction will follow anti addition. Anti addition means the OH group will come from opposite side of plane. These two OH group are in opposite plane. Two OH group are in opposite plane. Now see how. So if there is carbon carbon, if one OH is come from this side of plane, then another OH will come from this side of plane. So this is basically these two OH group. These two OH group are in the opposite side of plane. So this is anti addition. Now it is clear to all of you. Now see the next. If question is given like this, the compound is given like this, cyclohexene, and we added Ag2O. We added Ag2O in the first step, and in the second step we added H2O in presence of H+. So basically this reagent will provide two OH groups. So the two OH group will come from opposite side of plane. Yes. So two OH group will come from opposite side of plane. If one OH is on dash position, then another OH will be on wedge position. In the same way, if one OH is on, this OH is on solid position, then this OH will be on dash position. So this is basically the product obtained when the reaction of alkene with Ag2O and hydrolysis. So these two OH group will come from anti position, and there is addition on double bond from the anti-planar. It means one if above the plane, then another will come from below the plane. Now see the next reaction. So the next hydroxylation reaction of alkene. If compound is given like this, carbon carbon double bond, and the reagent if we add in the first step is like this, RCO3 and H, and in second step there is hydrolysis. This RCO3H can also be written like this, RC double bond O and H. So this compound is basically RCO3H. Now, so the main motive is this reagent will also provide the same thing. It means this reagent will also provide two OH groups. This reagent will also provide two OH groups for addition, and these two OH group will come from the opposite side of plane. These two OH group will come from opposite side of plane. So the product obtained is C. If one OH is in this plane, then one OH will be in this plane. So this is also basically anti-addition. Now it is clear to all of you. See, so we have seen two reagents for the syn addition and two reagents for the anti-addition. Now do some questions on this. If it is given like this, this is cyclopentene, and if we add and if we add RCO3H in first step and in second step there is hydrolysis, so what happens? So this reagent will provide two OH group. This reagent will provide how many OH group? This reagent will provide two OH group, and it will follow anti-addition, and it will follow anti-addition. So the product obtained is this one. The product obtained is this one. This pi bond will remove. This pi bond will remove, and these two OH group will come from the opposite side of plane, like this OH inside the plane. So this OH will be in outside the plane. This OH will be outside the plane. So both OH are in the opposite plane. So this product is obtained. Also you can say, if this OH is outside the plane, then this OH will be in inside the plane. So this is all about the hydroxylation reaction. This is all about the hydroxylation reaction. Now see the another thing. So we have discussed about the hydroxylation reaction. Now we are going to discuss about the catalytic oxidation by KMnO4. So the next important property we are going to discuss, chemical property of alkene, is catalytic oxidation of alkenes. So catalytic oxidation by using KMnO4. By KMnO4. What is KMnO4? Potassium permanganate. So next we are going to discuss about catalytic oxidation. If alkene is given like C double bond C, and we want to do the catalytic oxidation, so you can add KMnO4 in acidic medium, KMnO4 in acidic medium H plus, or you can say KMnO4 in presence of sodium iodate NaIO4. So the products obtained can be acid, or product obtained can be ketone, or the product obtained can be both, can be acid as well as can be ketone. So these are the possibilities of products obtained. So either you can add KMnO4 in presence of H plus, or you can add KMnO4 in presence of NaI4, or you can say hot and concentrated KMnO4. Hot and concentrated KMnO4 will also do the same thing. So you can add any of these reagents. Now see hint about the reaction. Trick for this reaction. What is the trick for this reaction? In this reaction, the product obtained will be same as the products obtained by oxidative ozonolysis. It is clear to all of you? So this is basically the trick. If you people have idea about the oxidative ozonolysis, then the product obtained by oxidative ozonolysis is same the product obtained by catalytic oxidation. Now I am showing you the examples. So this trick is a super trick for the identification of products obtained by catalytic oxidation by KMnO4 of alkenes. Now see the questions based on this. Now I am going to discuss some questions about it. See, if it is given like this, my question is CH3 CH double bond CH2 in presence of KMnO4 in presence of KMnO4 in acidic medium, the product obtained. As you people know the oxidative ozone lysis, yes. What we will do? First break this bond. So in the first step, the product obtained is CH3, C, double bond O and hydrogen. And another product obtained is H, C, double bond O and H. Now see, in oxidative ozone lysis, there is further oxidation. When there is aldehyde is obtained as product, then there is further oxidation because hydrogen is attached with directly CO group. Here also CO group and 2 hydrogen atoms are there. So these hydrogen atom will convert into OH groups. So this is carboxylic acid, and this is obtained into OH, C double bond O and OH. So this is basically carbonic acid. This is basically carbonic acid, which is H2CO3, and H2CO3 gives CO2 plus water. CO2 plus water. So these are the products. One product is this one and another product is this one. So simple. If you know the oxidative ozone lysis, then life will be easy for you. So this is the trick for the product. This is the trick for the product. Now see the another question. Now the another question is, if compound is given like this, CH3, C, CH3 and double bond CH, CH3, and the reagent is given KMnO4 in acidic medium, Now see, first break the pi bond. So one of the product obtained is CH3, C double bond O, CH3. Now there is no hydrogen atom. On carbon. So we will say further oxidation is not possible. Of this compound. But another compound obtained after ozone lysis is this one. So another compound obtained after ozone lysis is CH3, C double bond OH. So this will oxidize. Why this will oxidize? Because hydrogen is attached with C double bond O directly. So the compound obtained is CH3, C double bond O, OH. So these two products are obtained. One is ketone and one is carboxylic acid. Now see the next question. On this corner. In this corner, we will discuss the next question. See the next question. The question is, if the compound is given like this and you are doing the oxidative ozone lysis, means in presence of KMnO4 and H+. So what will happen? First break the bond, then it will be CH2, and C double bond O, H, also C double bond O and H. Now further, because this is oxidative ozone lysis, so in oxidative ozone lysis, hydrogen is attached with C double bond O. There also hydrogen attached with C double bond O. So oxidation will take place further. It means further oxidation will take place. So further oxidation will give the product like this: COOH, and then CH2, and then again C double bond O and OH. So this is the final answer. This product is obtained. Now see, so this is basically the catalytic oxidation. Now we are going to discuss about the polymerization reaction. See, so this is another chemical property of alkenes. So another chemical property of alkenes is polymerization reaction. What is polymerization reaction? See, if n molecules of ethene is given, so basically this is monomer. Simplest repeating unit of polymer, and the reaction in presence of titanium tetrachloride plus AlCl3. Titanium tetrachloride plus AlCl3. This catalyst we also call Ziegler-Natta catalyst. This we call Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So this we also call Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Now break the bond homolytically. One electron on this, one electron on this, and join with back unit. Now join this with forward unit. So this is basically ethene. This monomer is basically ethene, and on polymerization it will form polythene. So this is polymer, which is polythene, and this is monomer, which is ethene. Now see the another polymerization reaction. If the compound is given like this, n monomers of propene. So n monomers of propene means CH3CH double bond CH2. The catalyst is same. Ziegler-Natta catalyst. First of all, because we know in the polymerization reaction only double bonded carbon atoms will participate. So whatever group is present on the double bonded carbon, please make this group in the branching. So reaction will take place in such a way that, so reaction on double bond, so this is CH, now double bond will convert into single bond, this is CH2. Now again forward unit, and on this carbon CH3 group, take this in branch, either below or either above. Now put N. So if this is propene, then this is polypropene. This is also polymerization reaction. Now see another polymerization reaction. If n moles of compound is given like CH2 double bond CH and Cl, this is basically vinyl group. And on vinyl group there is chlorine. So we will call vinyl chloride. So this is monomer, and the reagent is same. Now, as we have already studied, only pi bond will go into the reaction. So whatever group on this pi bond, put in the branch. So CH2 will same, and now this CH. Now put Cl in branch, and then bracket. Join this with back unit, this carbon, and join this carbon with front unit, and put N there. So this is vinyl chloride. Now this will be polyvinyl chloride. So these are basically the monomers and polymers. So this is basically also the polymerization reaction. In the same way, see some more reactions related to the polymerization reaction. If it is given like this, n monomers of CH2 double bond, and monomers of CH2, right, erase this one, not clear, visible. If there is n monomers of CH2 double bond CH and Cn, this is basically acrylonitrile. So on polymerization, what happens? Because we know this pi bond will only part in the polymerization reaction. So write this by single bond. This is CH2 group, and this is CH. Now put the Cn in the branch, because this Cn is not participating in the polymerization reaction. Now put the bracket and join, put N there. So if this is acrylonitrile, this is An, then this will be polyacrylonitrile. It means Pn. So this is polyacrylonitrile. So these all are basically the polymerization reaction of alkenes. As we know, double bond is there. Now see, one important reaction I want to discuss with you. For alkene is isomerization reaction. So isomerization reaction is also chemical property for alkenes. Isomerization reaction of for alkenes. If compound is given like this, CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH double bond CH2. In presence of AlCl3, in presence of AlCl3, there is isomerization reaction will takes place. So isomer will be formed like this. This pi bond will shift in between these two. So one of the isomer possible is CH3, CH double bond. So one of the isomer possible is CH3. What are these isomers? If double bond will shift from this position to this position, this is CH3, CH, CH and CH3. And plus another product obtained will be CH3C double bond CH2 and CH3. So these two are basically isomers of this. So this reaction we call isomerization reaction. So this is all about alkene, what we have studied till. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about our new topic, that is alkyne. So we have completed alkenes in a detailed way.